Okay. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Very shortly, we get this program on the way. That's the representative of District number 1, Grand Canton, Republic of Liberia. Jeremiah Sokan will be my guest here this afternoon, joining me from the nation's capital of Monrovia. Okay, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, Monrovia, good afternoon to USA. It's a little 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England bureaus of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Here, as usual, we keep having the conversation to national conversation and not to be judgmental into national issue, but to hold our leaders accountable and have an honest conversation here. Of course, one of our own, he's, if maybe history can serve me right, a former official of Grand Jury Association, is now lawmaker in a special election recently ended in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Jeremiah Tagao Sokan is the representative of District Number 1, Granger County, of the 3 districts in the county. From the southeastern side is joining me from the nation's capital of Monrovia this beautiful Sunday afternoon, evening, morning, depending on your location. I would say welcome to the show. And just hit the share button and invite someone at your company, because this is what we do. We like to give politicians the opportunity to explain, to get their side of the story as well. So we want to welcome you. We will get this program on the way in the very short minute. Just welcome. Be told, thank you so much for joining us. Just hit the share button as well, and let's invite someone at your company. I will be ushering in my guests very shortly. Just doing a little bit of housekeeping here, and we will be having a conversation here very shortly. So welcome to the show. It's 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Control, good to have you here. Welcome, always. Thank you for your commitment to this network. And not just only to this network, I believe ultimately for the good of the country, because we need to have these national conversation. Just hit the share button for us so that we will have other friends to join this program and make their voices heard. We intend not to silence the voices of our people, but to give them the opportunity to be able to, engage with national conversation as well. Welcome, I'm Afonso Z and so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Okay, there we go. And let's see here. I get the image of my guest. I'm going to be bringing him here. I know it's a little bit, I believe, after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. For those of you joining us, hit the share button and invite someone at your company, as we are about to have national conversations. Just to double check with them to see what they are doing, to get their side of the story, to not to be judgmental, to not to be opinionated into our conversation. The representative of District Number 1 of the 3 districts in Granger County, Honorable Jeremiah Gao Sokan, was elected recently. He contested for these positions in the past. That didn't go well. He worked for EPA, I believe, in other numerous positions in government, but now he's a lawmaker. He's one of the 103 men and women that controls the first branch of government. So we will be having a conversation with him. As soon as I get an image of his camera, he's backstage. I'm going to be bringing in here. So just bear with us. A little bit of housekeeping. Also bear the fact that Liberia. Sometimes current issue is a challenge, but we are hoping somehow, some way, it's going to work out. So, Representative Sokan, if you are hearing me, as long as you get your camera on, we will be able to usher you in to get this program going. Okay, here we go. The honorable man is now, so I'm seeing the image loud and clear, and we're going to be bringing in Paul Smith. Good to have you here for joining us here. Let's get a ball rolling. I know it's a little bit getting late in Liberia. He has to go do the paperwork. I'm not sure whether they're on a break, but that's a different ball again. So I just making sure he's well situated, and then I bring in. When you bring honorable people, you gotta be very nice in the sense that to make sure everything is okay. I don't want to be held in contempt when I go to Liberia. Okay, I believe everything looks good now. If I can get a thumbs up, let me just bring in the Honorable Jeremiah Gao Sokan. The image, they're still having an issue, so just bear with us. Just bear with us. As soon as he get it right, I will be bringing him. I don't want to bring in the honorable man to why he making adjustment to his camera. Emosko Momot Too late. Good to have you here. Good afternoon. Welcome. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. J. Kennedy Waluba Flomoya. Thank you so much. Maybe just give us a heads up where you're watching from so we can also acknowledge, because you take up time to come here. It's important that we recognize you. I believe the Honorable Man is ready. Let me just bring him in right now. Okay, let's see here. I hope he's properly situated. Honorable Sokan, are you there? You want?
Yeah, how are you? Rosianso, okay. How are you?
Good to have you here at the Honorable Jeremiah Gao Sokan. Am I calling the name the right way?
I mean, you got it correct. You were just perfect in pronouncing the name. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Honorable, thank you so much for answering our call and, in fact, reinforcing the conversation, serving us a reminder. It's a clear indicator. I don't usually, they're going to be a land of demarcation because you are in. Do you recognize this building by Bahami? Is that where
I know? There where I will be in a couple of days from now. Yes, I recognize the building. Beautiful building, historical building, wonderful place. It's called a political theater.
Political theater. Okay. Now you let the cat out of the bed. Let's see whether that's going to be okay. Honorable Sokan, first of all, we say congratulations. This is my first time because you want it, and we must say it in the same vein. We'll be having a conversation. Intro is not one of my favorite because in the process of making the introductions, you tend to leave out some good pieces. I really do not need an intro for you, but for the benefit of our audience, so that we can get a playing level free open. So let's hit the ball here. So give a full description with Jeremiah Gao Sokan, who is now member of the parliament. If I will go in the British side, member of the parliament, that's the first branch of government. That's huge. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Honorable So, let me take this time, first of all, to thank the management of LPR Radio and TV. I think over the years, you have continued to steadfastly disseminate information, provide opportunity for knowledge sharing and the community development. So let me say my heart out to your management and everyone else who helped this platform to be the great and a wonderful one for all of us. Let me also take this time to greet your listening audience and those of faithful follower of this platform over the years. I'm totally humbled to be on this platform today. Especially, let me take this time to greet the people in District 1, Grand Jida County, every supporter, our institution, resident and citizen of Grand Jida County, both in Liberia and in the diaspora, also the Liberian community at large. It is an honor for me to be on this great platform, and I'm happy to be here. Well, the name Jeremiah Sokan within our community in the diaspora, especially in the US, is not a strange name. I'm a Grangidian. I once served as the Secretary General of the Granjida Association in America, Inc., under the presidency or the administration of Kanabu. Then I had the opportunity to be in the US for years, and I'm back home. So I hail, of course, from the Gobble clan, and just a Grangidian and a Liberian like anybody else and everyone else. Again, I'm happy to be on this platform.
Okay, there you have it, strictly from the house's mouth. He's going in this building. This building runs that provide ballot checks and balances on the executive branch of government. Okay, we're going to be discussing a wide range of issue here. We're going to make use of the time. And you are also at liberty to plead the fifth in the case, which of course you're not going to do that. You're going to get out. But again, I'm humbled answering our call and even pushing this board. Politicians don't usually do that. And when you call them to have a conversation they will do it. But I know who you are. One of the progressive secretary generals of the Grand Gidad Association. That we can admit. If we can also punch you guys, we must also be able to tell the good side of it. So we're going to start from here, and then we'll get in here a little bit to get a sense of it. I don't know, probably my history, member of history might not be right, but I believe this is the first time officials of the Grand Gidad Association at executive level, if I could say, to be elected as member of the House of Representatives. If that is the case, even that, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also until I'm proven otherwise, I think that is the case. I know that officials of the Graduate Association usually will come to Liberia and find their way into the executive. I can vividly recall that the former secretary Jackson one day had the opportunity to be the deputy minister, and then I followed immediately after him at the ministry, former Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs. We got a wide range of Grenadians who also served the Grenadian Association in the diaspora, and then probably found their way into the executives. I think your history, your recollection could be right and as good as mine. That I think this is maybe the very first former official of the Grenadian Association who probably having to reach this far in the first presidential government, to the best of my recollection, until otherwise.
Okay, let me be quick here to acknowledge prominent Grenadians following this live view. The current sitting president of the association, Madam Edith Taino Port, Madam Marie Todis Slanga. These are prominent women that are keeping the wheel of this industry. What a marvelous conventions in it in North Dakota here. So I quite believe they apply and many other that are following here. What should this tell your association that you serve so well as the number 3 person, and here you are now a member of the House of Representatives? What does that bring to the association by and large?
Well, thank you. I know I love every moment that I spend within the community in the diaspora. And I think every time that I had and every opportunity that I have to spend serving that community, I thought is one of those memories that really will stick and stay with me forever. One is that it is a place where you really practice how to address the need of your own community in terms of practical interventions. And I think it is also a training ground for all of us in the diaspora to also reconnect with the county. But key lesson that one can take away from there is that the county is looking forward to every person in the diaspora, whether through the Grenadian associations leadership, or you serve in your regular professional pathway. The county is looking forward to leadership, and that they should serve as a kind of reference and precedent that anyone else, everyone in the diaspora can be anything in Grenada, especially in the interest of their people. So I think we need to be careful. We need to do what we take every responsibility seriously and come back and commit ourselves. Remember, I was serving in as a Secretary General. I came back to this country, to Liberia, our homeland, and I was committed. Now, though I serve the community in the diaspora, but I also remain committed to serving the community in Liberia. I was in the student community. I rose to the level of the chairman of the board of the GUSU, and then eventually, got into the county with the school system and stay within the community by providing what I can. In other words, contributing in a way that I can within my resources or means to be able to get a society a better place. Today, I'm fortunate to have won the trust of the people of Grenada County, which I'm humble for, to be elected as their representative in the first branch of government. an opportunity that I cherish, that I'm honored to have, and I commit to working in the interest of the district. So I think it's a great precedent that is being set here that all my friends and distinguished colleagues in the diaspora can take you from.
So I'm kind of a curious guy here, and was this something that you forecast while you were serving the association here? And the reason I'm asking this here, the politics in Liberia now is deadly. You know that with the emergence of the social media, and I believe whatever you did here, add that to the other credentials and your commitment to the community, to your country, for which nothing we saw coming out. The former secretary, he did this, he did XYZ. I'm wondering, was it something that you forecast at some point in time? I'll serve my community, I need to return home, serve my county, serve my district, yet the Republic of Liberia. Was this something that was in the back of your mind?
Uh, at the time, no. Because remember, I was in the state, and I was, like everyone else, I was really focused on professional and maybe preparing oneself through going to school and working, taking care of families, taking care of community business. No, I never thought that I would have even returned then to Liberia. But when we were elected, and you know the election that brought into power the Kanambu administration, after we came to power, the administration set a goal to really reconnect with the county. And our first trip that we made to Liberia was the 13-man delegation, which we really took, people paid their own self way, but there were a lot of donation collection from the community, that so that trip was an eye opener for me. When I got in, I mean, we saw friends and we saw the community. For me personally, it was a personal, life touching and, life changing experience. Seeing some friends who we all went to school together, we grew up together, and then the student community. So when I returned from that trip, it was a kind of game changer that kind of reminded me that, look, you need to probably go back and give, a support. Coincidentally, it was at the same time that I was also, I think, being asked by the government then, to play some role. So those serve as a trigger and, uh, things that really accelerated and attracted me then to return home. Now, when I came back home also, I wasn't even thinking about politics, about going into politics. I was
Yeah, what
just
happened?
merely, I was merely just working within the community, the student community. Every weekend, we will have about 100 university students. We would just have fun. I mean, I would share with them my experiences working and, help them out, many of them, with some school, lesson as well as support. So we built that kind of closeness. It was later down the years that the
Hmm.
student themselves felt that, look, we think that this kind of leadership and the commitment to community development should be scaled up. We think that you need a bigger platform, a better platform that will allow you and afford you the opportunity to transform the community. This kind of leadership is needed within the Grand Jide County, especially at the first branch of government. That
This,
when I as yielded to the call, and in 2015-16 launched myself into political activity in the county. Other than that, no, I never had a previous mindset to say, no, I'm doing this and then I'll go to Liberia, I'm going to look for a job, and then I'm going to be a politician. No, no, no. I did not pre-plan these things. They all happen, just spontaneously.
spontaneously. That was the turning point that led you into the political race, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was being working with the community, working with the Graduate University Student Union, and they see the need that such a leadership can be scaled up, should be given the opportunity. And then, yes, I yielded to their call, and I think I love every moment of it. I love every experience that came along with it. And I think I'm totally grateful to the people of Grand Junction County, District 1, for their trust and confidence at this very moment.
If you went for the first time, it didn't work out. Politics is a slippery game. Nothing is guaranteed. Not everyone that lifted your hand, not everyone that gave you donation, not everyone that told you I am with you, not necessarily going to cast that vote. That did not happen. But there seems to be a consistency. You decided to go back. What trickled your mind when you were approached? You didn't think about politics is deadly, is somehow sometimes it caught family ties and all of that. Who was the first person, Honorable Sokan, that you shared that way? Look, this is what the people are telling me. Should I go into this thing here? What are they saying? Or they want a little one or two saying, and then can say, oh, yeah, you will money. Do you share that vision with someone within your proximity that you remembered before making your final decision?
You know, so let me tell you this. Once you enter any endeavor, from a pure, simple, and plain motive, right? A very clear motive. I think that you tend to attract people who are honest and direct, and candid with you. Um, because I never had a prior or pre-planned notion to go into politics. So mine was not anything that you say was stage managed, and that people who kind of trick you, come with some kind of face, right? I remember I got into the community, and all I was just doing was merely just helping financially, helping from the bottom of my heart. And I mean, I did not. So around me were, young people who were totally sincere. These were people who were beneficiaries of my benevolence, for a protracted period of time without me even telling them that I need something from them or I want something from the county, not even for an appointed position or not. Remember again, I'm a professional person. So when I was in Liberia, I was working as a professional person. So I was just sharing what I was earning, what I was working and getting. So it wasn't anything that, oh, it's stage managed. There is, look, you could detect an underlying motive or something funny about it before people be traced. So my very first set of constituents that I had were very sincere people, were honest, and then they were direct. And these were people who were really committed. So it wasn't a question. I mean, these were people who were more passionate about me going into politics than I was passionate about. So I mean that I was so fortunate to have probably been in that kind of setting. So going into politics for me was a no, was really when I got into it was not difficult. But yes, politics, it's an interest. But I can tell you that when you have the right set of people around you from the beginning, I mean, it tend to be very, very enriched experience that you can get. It's fantastic. Yes, like you indicated, I went 2017, and I can tell you that in 2017, when we went in there, we have developed or contributed to the development of that county and district in particular, to the extent that even in our very first appearance in the election, we were extremely competitive. I mean, we were not we were considering ourselves underdog, but in few months we transformed into a beacon and a real force to reckon with. So because of the developmental activities we carry, even to this very moment today, I mean, those were the records that also prepared us and made us to win the heart of our people in the district. We were consistent, we were persistent, but committed also to the development initiative of the district and Grand Junction County. We never shied away from undertaking the most expensive project. We never shied away from answering the calls of the people. We never shied away to addressing the needs of the young people when we could and can and could afford to do that. So we did that committedly without any waiver or doubt. So I think that's what make our day to day, for the people to trust and allowed us the opportunity to represent them today.
we are about to transition, and I brought this here to give a backdrop because it's important that the audience we are on an obligation to unveil our guests who they are and where they are now. Before we transition, have you had a chance to ever speak with the leadership of the Graduate Association? You being the former executive since, like, have you had the opportunity to speak with any of the executive, for example, the president?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, let me take this time first to thank the president, Madam Idepoa, and her administration. As a matter of fact, she's we work together in the Grandchildren Association. We know each other over the years. I mean, she's one of top notch in the grandchildren community, especially the female circle. I know her, a professional woman and a woman who is committed, to transforming, grandchildren community. I mean, she also traveled to grandchildren so many times. I've seen her several times. She got a lot of initiative. She's a woman of passion. So she congratulated and sent a message, and directly I reached her via, I think, Messenger, and we had the opportunity to video chat on 2 3 occasions. We even brainstormed way forward. I suggested to her my intent to reconnect, even as the representative of District 1, that there is a plan that, with her administration and her approval and consent, that we can work something out to see we can reconnect. Again, I look forward to really making the diaspora community an integral part of my leadership in the district, whether it's brainstorming around project formulation, design, or is about maybe what kind of policy, what's the best way forward to create an impactful intervention in the district. I intend to have grandchildren association and the diaspora community as an integral part of my leadership. So we discussed a few of those things on the phone. So yes, I got in touch. In fact, I reached out to a few of my friends who maybe we never spoke. Let me quickly mention the name of Mr. J.J. Dennis, who was, I think, the president of Bison District as well. We had
Yeah.
an opportunity to talk, and numerous other friends. We had a chat. A lot of friends we haven't talked over the years, but upon my winning, we reconnected and we discussed a lot of things. So yes, I took that first step to reconnect and put forward a plan and a proposal to Madam President that we could be looking at in the next coming days or months to probably find way how we can link up and work together.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. As I said, you're a great communicator. But we are about to transition to your callings in this building. I don't know why you decided to go there. Why would you do that? What do you have in mind? I never had a chance, and I'm not going to second guess your vision for the district, your constituent, the county, yeah, the Republic of Liberia. This is LPR-TV. Jeremiah Gao Sokan is the representative district number 1 to Grangeda County, Republic of Liberia. Joining me on this live view from Liberia. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Now you are in this building here. Honorable, I had the opportunity during some of my visits in Liberia to interact with lawmakers. And to be honest, man can't talk all, and we will not talk all, but we can discuss it to find a solution. You are in this building. I believe there are what, 5 members, 3 rep, and
Yes,
then 2 senators.
correct.
Okay, we will come to that, but let's look at your constituents. What was the vision to lay out? If you want to just recap, for which your message resonated with the people of Chien District to get that sort of massive win. What is the vision layout? I want to hear from myself. I want to hold you accountable if you slip down the road, which I am not hoping to do because you're going to do it. But I want to just have those information for myself. What is in there? You now a member of the House of Representatives. Everybody want to go in there, and people have variety of interpretation why people want to go in there. Some people want to get maybe 100, well, I know, gallons of fuel. What are they getting there? Some say 15 grand, some say bonuses. I just don't know. It's just a crowded conversation when it comes to this building. What is in there for TCHINE District? Internet don't do this to us. Just bear with us. I know this is a very interesting question. So let me just move the honorable, and I saw I see here movement backstage. I'm going to be bringing in here, folks. Just bear with us. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what I is. Okay. How about you now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. So tell us, a lot of folks from TCHINE District are listening. What is in there? Yeah. Both inside Liberia and in the diaspora all over the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think first thing is Honorable Sianso and the listening audience. I think let me first stand and thank previous leaders of the district and of the county, for they doing to the best of their ability. They been there and they worked. They can only deliver what they know. And that's what they did in the district and the county. I got into this political landscape in TCHINE district with a precise vision. I saw that, the song that say, I've done my best, but my best was not good enough. I think I saw that colleagues who were in leadership then in the district did their best, but their best was not cutting it. And so there was a need to bring in a proven leadership track record of people who probably could bring a transformation. I will tell you, candidate, today, one of the few things that attracted me is the infrastructure of the city, the road network particularly. In Swedru, in TCHINE District, Grand Jida County, the roads, I don't know what English word can better suit to describe the condition. Because words cannot describe sufficiently, how bad the roads are in the heart of the city. I mean, during the campaign, I would say that you will need a flashlight, 6 battery flashlight in the middle of a broad daylight, 2 o'clock, to flash in front of you so that you can't strike your foot or your toes while walking down the street in Swedru. Another piece is that the city quota that we have, the asphalt pavement, those pavements have been there from the days of our grandfathers and fathers. 20 years, no one, not you, nor me, or anyone in the past leadership can point to an addition to those. I think it's a shame, total shame. And not only that, the street that are asphalt paved today, they are totally dilapidated to the extent that the potholes are so huge in the middle of the street that you almost having a swimming pool in the middle of the city. I think that is just too much, heart-wrenching. And so for me, either 2 things. One, people want to do something, they don't know how to do it, or they're just not connecting with the kind of network to be able to do it. And so my vision is to be able, through the oversight role of a lawmaker, I intend to work with all partners, whether external or internal, local, in the diaspora or in Liberia. I intend to harness every resource, whether financial or moral, to be able to transformatively intervene in the streets of Swedru. Swedru TCHINE District is the face of the county, for the love of God. It is just inconceivable that
those area, our street could be like that. And so I think for me is provide a leadership, be able to bring together the resources to be able to do that. And so my commitment over the next couple of years, by the grace of God, is to be able to first of all find a way to greater or properly condition the streets from Zanwo Quarter to Point Town. I mean, they are bad, for lack of better word. They are bad. And I can tell you, Mr. So, this also involves you. It involves every Nigerian in the diaspora. We talk about our county, but I think we need to work together to be able to intervene. Even if national resources cannot, we should be able to pragmatically transform the place that we are born and our neighbor stream is buried. It is our pride. And so I think as a leader of the district, I will endeavor over the next years to reconnect with the diaspora base. And I will also work with the national government to make sure through oversight that totally improved. The second leg of it is that the city, which is the gateway to Southeast, the social economic hub of the Southeast, it is laying in dark. Imagine in the 21st century, people in the district or some part of the communities, about maybe 10% of the communities, 56 communities have access to energy, electricity. And at that, even the electricity is erratic. Um, and sometimes there is a lot of leakages along the way. So you have about 90% of the 56 communities still in dark, and people are using lantern and candles in the 21st century. We have some investors in there. Through the oversight in the next couple of years, my focus will be to find and refine the business model of the investors in this area for us to be able to provide electricity to all of the 56 communities in Swedru, to give every school-going kids the opportunity to be able to have light and quality lightnings for them to do their schoolwork, do the research, and be able to learn perfectly. And that's what we set out to do. We will also not forget about reconciliation. Over the past years, there have been a lot of controversial events that unfolded in our district. And those events deepen, sometimes split the population in the middle, whether on ideological or political divide, but there is a division. And we will endeavor to kind of ensure that unity prevail among us. And so we set out to make sure that our people in the district and the county, working along with all our colleagues, that we will ensure that we have unity and reconciliation. And that we are one, and that's only in union strong success is a show. So we will endeavor that our people will be united. We will not forget about the health care. One of the few things that are prominent in the area is a lot of people are not on payroll in the health sector and education sector teachers. We will work with the appropriate institution, with our leadership in the caucus, to make sure that these people, where applicable, we can find some solutions around them. But I said to the people of Chen District, and I'll repeat, that if I didn't do anything in Chen District, the street will not remain the same. We will ensure that the communities will have lights. We're going to work together to doing that. And so that's what we are set out in our agenda to go. Not forgetting our cardinal responsibility, lawmaking. There are few institutional, and Swedru multilateral is one. We had a conversation with them, and they informed us of the need for them to have autonomy, and such autonomy will allow them to raise the necessary resources so that they can rehabilitate, rehabilitate and expand their vocational, technical and vocational aspect of their tertiary education. So the principal and I agree that look, I will do and I will try my best once I have all the information to work with the institution to come out with a legislative work that will grant us whether multilateral and maybe other similar institution that autonomy that is so desired because they feel that is critical to the expansion and improvement of vocational education in the county. So that will be my primary focus in the district. My other focus would be I will work with colleagues in the legislature to understand the retirement benefits of civil serving or workforce in Liberia. And I think over the next couple of time, we will try to figure it out. For some of our experience working in developed countries, to try to see what a safety net look like. That can be an incentive for people to leave and retire early. I think people are stuck on jobs and don't want to retire even if they reach retirement age, and their body refuse for them to go elsewhere because the fear of not having any income or stable income or fairly a reasonable income. So I think our social security programs need to be looked at carefully and need to be updated to the 21st century. I will be devoting my time and energy to seeing whether we can bring some uh, reasoning around those areas. For representation, we will ensure that the voice of Grand Juda County and District 1 is, is an integral part of every debate. And if a piece of legislation will come out, we will ensure that the interests of the district and the people of the county will be protected. We ensure that that we will be present and we will be active participant on the floor. Oversight, I've already indicated, we will continue to work with all development partner and various stakeholders operating in the district. We will do that through either quarterly or periodic or coordinated meetings. We will not hesitate to inform and enlist help of the diaspora, as well as making sure on ideas that will transform the district. So those are things we are set up to provide in terms of leadership, and that's what we want to bring to the table in the district, in the county, in the country at large.
Okay, wow, what a broad and strategy here. We're getting a message here. Dr. Clarence Gono also expressing his regard to you, to Honorable Sokan, yet and monitoring here. So that is to measure. Yeah, we understand. Yeah, I think one of the problems. Yeah, we are in darkness. Some of the things the Honorable should be reviewing his stuff and thinking. But let's get that. But ultimately, Honorable Sokan, those are very great and brilliant ideas. But those things cannot just be attained just by yourself. The collaborations about working with your colleagues from different different party, but are members of the House of Representatives and even the senators. You got to push the agenda to see these things are being funded by national government. This is my fear. This is my worry because the politics in Liberia and other place, the device is huge. What will we see this time around? Because I've seen, I've been there, and some other lawmaker, I can't talk to this one can't talk to me. That worries us because you people are there, whether we voted for or voted against, you guys are our direct representation. So regardless of your political affiliations, there must be some conversation within the inner world of our leaders from the county in order to push the county agenda to the national government. But Honorable Soka cannot speak to Honorable Johnson or Yaya Nimle or this other person. It makes it difficult. And then like our county is not represented. Have you had a chance to speak with your colleagues, both on the lower and upper branch? And what are you hearing from them? So what is the new commitment? I know it's not going to be anything like a legal document to sign. That house there is all about politics. But what is a new understanding with in this building that you guys that are representing here from Grand Jide?
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Let me thank you for this. Sokan goes into this House of Representatives with a huge capital. One, I enjoy the trust of every lawmaker now in the House. The reason for that is that in the history of the county and since I've been in politics, there's no evidence anywhere, whether written or oral, that I've been part of any controversy. I've never formed faction party against anyone. I've never publicly said any derogatory word against either anyone. I've always been a person who reconciles. Even if things were going worse, I would call people in the quietest of place to give, to make sure that we reconcile. The second point is that we have 4 new lawmakers from the county. Each one of them, the new people, I know them very well. I hold some personal, relationship with some of them. And we know each other, whether professionally or family or in a social cycle. We have respected each other and we trust each other. Third, I go into this knowing that I'm in the midst of bright and wonderful people from the district or from the county. We are going to make sure we don't have to love each other. But I think we will all try to put the interests of the county first. So I had an opportunity to interact with them. And I've gathered a confirmation from them about that this caucus, the 55th caucus, will definitely be united. We could, and we will disagree sometime on some topics, on some issues, but ultimately the interests of the county and the people will be paramount and trump card. I had the opportunity to interact with each and every one of them. As a matter of fact, I was at an event where the chair and the co-chair, myself, we were there. In fact, today, the secretary, since my election, the secretary and I, and everyone, we've been having a very regular interaction, conversation. They're doing everything to orientate me for me to hit the ground running. So I can assure you that we will endeavor to making sure that the caucus is united. We will ensure that the interests of the people of Grand Jide County will be paramount. We will ensure that a minimum disagreement or even a disagreement that will not split us will happen. We have that responsibility, and I think we will do that. So I can assure you, I reach out to them, and we will definitely work on that.
All right. Let's give our guests a few seconds to get a drink. Let's give our guests a few seconds to get a drink, and we'll be right. This is LPR. Jeremiah Galso. We'll be right back. Okay, so my phone and so to the Public Radio and LPR-TV. Are you prepared to? I know it's getting late there. This is going to be an continuing process, and folks there will always be in contact with your office. You, as a great communicator, I have no doubt that your office will be accessible. Do you intend, or will there be office in your district, in Grand Gidet, in Chien district, or you're going to run Chien district office in Monrovia, Honorable Sokan?
Also, let me clearly disclose to you that the Friends of Sokan spin around. This is our third election cycle. We were in 2017 and 2021. As such, and then 2024, as such, we have the best organized structure in Chien District, properly decentralized with leadership all in the community and the surrounding towns. Today, as I speak to you, we ran our campaign from our office in the district. And as I speak to you, that office, instead of campaign office, movement office, is now termed as the office of the representative District 1 in Grand Gidet County. 90% of our staff and team will be based in the county, and we intend to stay right there to run Chien District from Chien District. The office in Monrovia will be just an office that will be hosting few persons just to facilitate and make sure that few things in Monrovia are done. But most of our activities, I can assure you 80% of our activities will be based in the county. And our office is already open. And I can assure you, you send somebody there, the office is bustling with people going there, the staff are busy, and we will continue on to hold that as such during our term.
Okay, great. I don't usually think there's going to be a file line now. You are a politician, you are a member of the parliament now, so that line, yeah, we got to draw that. But I must also give credit in terms of people who are spontaneous to communication will reach out and you say, you know what, any hour, anytime. Very, very few people, when they get up the hill there, the door is sealed out, the glasses become tinted, information become a guess game, speculations and suspicions, and that gives wrong here. How do you intend to operate your office in terms of transparency, getting the media, getting the work of the district to your constituents, whether they are in, because some have the tendency, oh, the people on our side, they're not going to get anything to do with us. How do you intend to open that corridor where your office will be accessible? I know people have their own basic schedule. You know, it doesn't mean something should be instant, but that sort of opening line of communication to know what is going on instead of the people. You should be given the information, not then coming to you to ask before you can tell them the work of the district. The district is in your charge. How do you intend to open that corridor in order for people to, they can have a second guess? Oh, I think the honorable days will yet. How you intend to do that?
Thank you. First, I'm very key on the composition of my team that will work around me, right? I'm not going to pretend to say I'm going to do all the work by myself. I know that I will be dedicating myself to strategic things. So other things, I got to get competent staff. So I can assure you that the best brain in Grand Gidet County, if not, the creme de la creme, will come around me in my office around me, so that we'll be able to reach out. Now, the other piece that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that quarterly that we will maintain a quarterly update with the constituents in the district. We will
communicate. We will hold quarterly meetings with 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 our constituents. So we will provide quarterly updates. The other piece is our office is going to be open. I'm going to have a dedicated my political officers will stay in touch with, use him as a media person. We, like I say again, we are politicians and going to political theater. We'll definitely stay in touch with the media. The media will always listen. The media will always get, our doors will be open. We will not hesitate. One of the key things I want to leave with you on how accessible we will be is the fact that for us, we come to this place here, not our very first uh, uh, public job. We come from a background and experience in public service. So we understand that as a public official, we got to be open up to media. And there's history for us that we are media friends, whether, it is national, international, we are very, good friends of media, and we will stay like that. So our people will get their update on a periodic basis. The medias, you send your media correspondent to our office. If I'm not available, my COS will respond. We will provide the information to you as you need it. Unless otherwise it's maybe one of those one that we don't need to get out, right? At some point in time, that probably needs some clearing, on them. But those that you need and that will be available, definitely we will give those to you.
All right. I know there's going to be an ongoing conversation that, I mean, this is a big day. We don't want to take guys, we'll keep time with the family as well. But I know you being a person, hopefully we're going to be having this here. So we also want to acknowledge the presence of the Vice President, the National Vice President of the Grand Gate Association, Mr. Azed Minangole. So this seems to get our attention because everybody going to be keeping eye. They're going to be keeping eye. And I think it's necessary here also to the audience here. Let's see here, get this tweet out here to this follower. He didn't say Andrew Badet, wonderful gate. Thank you, Dad. District number 1, Representative Honorable Jeremiah Sokan. We wish you well as you lead the people of the district on the rightful trajectory. We believe and trust your leadership competencies coupled with a lot of experience. Now, this seems to be the Sonny. I mean, I don't like to praise politicians. This man here, I like when somebody got me, I said, well, that's not too strange. I think information will get out. But a politician want to get on that side, I become. How do you intend to build a relationship with national government? Whether people for the party, not for the party, you cannot fight. And this is where sometimes that gap is breaking. This in this building here is all about cutting deals for the good of your people. With the ruling party, your house leadership, to push the agenda, because your goal is to push the agenda of your constituency, your district, even the county. All of the guys, your other colleagues, have they come to that understanding? Look, this is not about Honorable Sokan. This is not about Senator Nimle. It's not about Representative Johnson. But ultimately, we want it be done for our district, for our county, for good. Because the time sometimes they argue, other people pushing their county agenda. And second part here, what will be the working relationship, the caucus, and that of the county leadership? Because there must be some sort of coordination. We saw that in the last branch. I can say, because I talked to them, other members got out of the chat room because of this other representative, that other person. It became so personal. And at the end of the day, our county will become the victim, and people see us as troublemakers. We just do not make trouble. But our leaders, people that will put in leadership, fail to give that direction, fail to provide this leadership. I am worried. I am still afraid if we want to go back to that path, and people will not let go, because in any race, there must be a winner and a loser. I don't believe in these conspiracies, innuendo, the falsehood. When it happened, and move on. Who is the current caucus chair, Honorable? Because we want to have this
Thank you.
round conversation with everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. So let me quickly take your questions in the order they came in. So first is what is going to be the working relationship with the national government, especially partisanship and that. First thing is I'm fortunate by the grace of God to enter this legislature, this political theater, as an independent candidate. What I think we're going to do is that the Liberian people first, through the election, decided who the set of leaders that they trusted for the next 6 years. This leadership also has a plan of how they will develop Liberia. I think every person, every leader need to be given a chance, objectively. So we are going to take. Remember, I am going into the legislature as a professional person. Person I serve in so many positions in the executive, so I understand the working of the executives. And so I'm taking along with me the experience from the executive. And so if you come to me or come to the legislature that I'm part of with a program or project or initiative, we're going to take a look at it and understand how impactful and how realistic that is. If it is established that it can transform and change things around in the country, I think there is no objection to allowing such an initiative to be implemented, but then always maintain the relationship again between the legislature and the executive. It is through the term function of the legislative role, which is oversight. So you always have a time to do your monitoring and evaluation. If you give somebody go ahead to do certain things, you always have that time to follow up and see if they did exactly what they said they would have done. If not, then the conversation can be held when they come back for the second time. So I look forward to a very collaborative and a very productive working relationship with the executive, because it's in the interest of the country. I mean, specifically to my district. Let's take, for example, if there is funds in there for the district development or county development activities. I mean, I think we need to make sure as a caucus of that county to make sure that such funds is timely released to the county so that the county can be able to undertake those projects or those activities that it should be able to take care of. I think that the executive will be very will be responsive in a way that they will not hold back county development funds, because holding those funds back means that the counties will not do the things they want to do. So I will be watching carefully, and I will be ensuring that those things are, the kind of things that we all need to hold our ends of the bargain to be able to so that everywhere and every people can move ahead to carry that. So it'll be a very good working relationship, but a relationship where we will not shy away from saying no to things also that run counterproductive and don't really meet what we agreed to. We will use the budget as an instrument, and then we make sure that it happens. Okay, so I expect a very productive one. Yes, it is. It's a political theater where the number game always take the day. So we will also be objective, but at the same time, no, we will not draw a line to say in politics there are no permanent enemies. There's only interest, and so we're going to see how the interest of the people is protected, and then we're going to make sure that it happens. Transparency is going to be the hallmark. Accountability also going to be a hallmark for us dealing with national. To the caucus of the county. Yes, you asked who's the chair. I'm the last kid and the newest kid on the block right now, going to the theater. So everybody finished putting the structure into it. Now I'm going there. I'm going to be the government already formed. Senator Nimble.
The elephant meet.
Yeah, Senator Thomas Representative Marie Johnson is the co-chair. Honorable
Jacob DB is the secretary, and then Senator Peno, I think, is the advisor. So now the only member, maybe the only member for that body, going to be me. A later date or some point in time. But yes, so I think that's the configuration of the caucus leadership right there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to the question you asked about the county leadership and the caucus. True. I think all of us, one of the few things that I'll be watching too, and no one can pretend to say it's going to be a walk in the park, is how we be able to forge that relationship. It is my hope and that we should be able to have a working relationship where you don't have to be my buddies, right? You don't have to, but I think we should be able to agree objectively on something that will benefit the interests of the people. So I myself, like you, I'm looking forward. I'm going in there optimistically, but at the same time, I'm cautiously going to see that we really do a good job of coordinating with the local authorities, at least so that we get everything going and then we don't repeat what has happened in time past. I look forward to that.
With all of these wrap up here, that could give me a sense to say basically your vote in the house there will be based on what is there for your district, what is there for the county, and the republic, not necessarily political, even though it's a political position, but people in the attendance say, oh, I'm not for part of the party yet. So they try to be a sort of obstruction to 100% and all of that. You intend to have that sort of open dialogue to see what is there before your votes can be cast on issues, correct? Will you make public some of critical votes if need be, because there might be some controversial in the sense that the people need to know what their leaders stand. Do you intend to make some votes where necessary so that the people will know your political stance on those critical issues to make it public, or your office will announce that this is my position on this, correct?
I mean, absolutely. My thing is, like I always told you, that all throughout my career path, I've always, the decision is the end of a process. Okay. So I'm going to use such an approach. I'm not just going to jump to conclusion. I'm going to take my time to analyze the situation, understand the rationale, the underlining for such maybe a request or something like that. And I will always be proud to consult with my constituents. But it might not be everybody that you will reach, but there's certain critical and guide you and maybe convince you on the path that will benefit. So I will not forget about those attributes that are integral part of my well-being. I will take that known clearly on an issue. I would definitely will. I mean, the position of the majority of the constituent, the benefit of the constituents will be my position. If I'm taking a position, I will also make sure that my constituent understand that. So I definitely will disclose my position on critical issues. Yeah, and I will give my reason why I think it should be.
Okay, we will come in to wrap up. I want to keep here. I want to have more time in coming future to where necessary here. Luckily for you, the superintendent, who happens to be the governor or the direct representations of the president as executive position, the superintendent seat would be in your district. Very huge. So I believe everybody should have asset. Have you had a chance to speak with the newly confirmed appointed superintendent, former Representative Ellis Jesse Grant?
Oh yes. I mean, look. Also, I am, like I say, serving in a community leadership. We understand the role of coordinating, right? Coordination is key. And so
especially when you play soccer like some of us did, you understand that the team comprises of various members, and if you're going to win a game, you have to talk to your team members and talk to everyone on the team. So I can tell you to date, I did reach out not only to the superintendent, but I reached out to the development superintendent. I reached out to the inspector. I even reached out to the mayor. So I did my 9 yard. I spoke to everybody, congratulated them. I let them know that we are all on the same team, and that the winning of the game is important. I mean, Grand Chita County development and proper coordination, talking to each other will be key to making us moving forward. Consulting with one another will be, the hallmark. So yes, I've spoken with the county leadership, even the municipal leadership. I've spoken with them.
Okay, great. We're going to leave it at we know it's a little bit late. Tomorrow should be getting ready. I'm not sure whether you guys on break or whatever it is, but we hope to continue on this to be in touch. Our guy is our correspondent on the lower house. James Tono Kaba monitoring us from Caveta by Bannersville area that we will be reaching out. We are open here, to be honest. Even if you slam the door, we will still come. And when you slam the door, then we will come and talk and say, at least we went there to hear the staff of the representative. But he said no comment. I don't know you to be the person that said no comment, so I'm not anticipating. I'm not anticipating hearing that from but I think in the interest of fairness, we can't be judgmental. It's not about ourselves. I'm not talking about my home. We're talking about national government. We might have differences, and that's why people don't understand. They hear people name, oh, it's like the whole war is crushing. I think that is unfair. We got to hear from people to get their side of the story. We can't be sentimental and just insert ourselves into this national conversation. That's not who I am, and that's not what I'm going to do. So when we hear it, we will reach out, and we want to give time also for people to respond, and not just to come along with something because you want to be enticed for people. Honorable Jeremiah Gao Sokan. What's your lesson plate number? What's your RP what? Or
let me fully disclose. I should be taking office and be inducted by this Thursday. I was certificated on the 6th, and by the time I got my certificate, the lawmaker were already on a vacation. So I'm playing a waiting game. So Thursday I will be inducted. Then I will be initiated, and I'll go through the orientation. Then I think I'll go through where my license plate will be, where my chair going to say all the one. By Thursday, I'm going to know. So you see, I don't get a door set to slam yet, So, so I mean, that's what it is. So as soon as I get my license plate, man, I will send it to you,
Okay. Yeah. We don't know. I don't want the RP, then they printed it. So at least when I know, when I get there, I say, oh, that's
RP. You see the RP, they want passing. You see that J sold that passing, my man.
Yeah. And I will keep in touch. Our guys on the legislature, we open out to everybody. I think this is what we need to do. And we are open to, if you even want to have like a town hall style with your constituent in the diaspora, because this should be a greater part. TCHINE district have a vibrant organization here. All of us should chip in, not just only holding leaders accountable, but what are we doing as well in order to make our voices heard. We got to create a practical, a felt impact, because it's not a matter of telling people don't vote for that person here. Okay, if you don't want people to vote for somebody, but you're not even doing anything for that person to be stopped from voting for people, then it doesn't make sense for me. So we all have a shared responsibility of making an impact so that our people will listen to us. If you can't affect, you can't change people's life, they can't make it, people presence felt, there is no point. I think square. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Look, a few things I'm looking at. Like I just told you, I spoke to the president of Grand Chita Association. I will reach out to the president of TCHINE District Association in the Americas as well, as soon as I can get the person contact. My intent is, look, to come in the diaspora. I know we just ended a by-election. okay, and the event leading to the by-election. There's so much. I did a very good job in the district from town to town. I think I want to replicate that similar engagement with the diaspora community to probably provide some information, some clarity, and maybe a way forward. Remember, this gone by election were heavily contested.
Oh, yeah.
15% were in the election. And each of those, each of one of us have our root, our supporter in the diaspora. It is incumbent upon me right now to be able to reach out. And let me quickly disclose that immediately after the election, I took upon myself and called all of the 14 other candidates who took part in the election. In fact, I'm endeavoring to see whether I know that many of them have gone back to their businesses and all of that. But we spoke, and I showed them about open door that every day you can come out and so on and so forth. So I'm looking forward to meeting, the various districts, especially Chin District, the Grand Jury Association in America, in a town hall style with questions and other things that we can discuss. Remember, I'm one of your own. Everything that I know right now, I learned it from you right there from within the community. So I think it is my responsibility to reconnect. I was telling the president, I want to call it a reconnect tour. Some of you, many years we have not spoken. That's true. If let consider it, put the blame on me. It can't, right? Put the blame on me. Let me apologize. Let me reconnect. Let's see how we make it better. So it's that kind of spirit that I think I want to approach this leadership with, to come and reconnect and come to everybody who might have a candidate in the race. Yeah, that's true. I mean, only one person can occupy the seat. I'm there now. I need every one of your help. I need your prayers. Let's work together. I mean, today it's me. Tomorrow it can be you or it be somebody else. But I think what matters now is how do we have an impactful intervention in Chin District in Grand Juda County. The other piece I want to also leave with you, one of the few things we need to endeavor the media landscape need to help us is, look, let's try to do some fact checking on information that will come out. I found out throughout this campaign, and other people find out that this misinformation is just terrible. It's terrible. It's not good for our county. It's not good for our district, you know? And so I think the media landscape can do a good job by helping us also to making sure that somebody not telling the truth, let it not be there. Let's say that is not the truth. I mean, I don't think we need to forge a culture or develop a culture for our young people to just say things that are just false. We know propaganda out there, but we should just be a little bit mindful as what we talk about people, what we say, you know. And then so I just really want to thank you. But by this media, I want to extend my greetings to every Grenadian in the diaspora, all resident and citizen of Chin District and the Chin District Association in America, the Bison District, the Kunamo District, and all the other sectional organizations. I really want to thank you for your prayers. For those who did not, support or didn't stand with me, that's fine. I mean, that's what politics is all about. But I need all of your prayers. I need your support now. I need you to rally around me. I need your advice for us to, build a district and a county that you want to see. The district and county you want to see. So please, my doors are open. My phone lines are open. Don't hesitate to reach me out. Reach me on WhatsApp. Reach me on Messenger. I will get back to you. Again, I'm humble for the opportunity you're giving me. It's one thing to look for a job. It's another thing to do it. I need your prayer. Let me get a job done. Thank you.
The Honorable Jeremiah Gao Sokan Senior is the District Number 3 to representative.
No, District Number 1.
District Number 1. I'm taking you. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna
You take Jacob DB job, my man. The guy's not gonna be happy.
Yeah, not major. My Sokan district number 3 now.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Look,
Yeah,
but I
thank you.
really want to thank you, and we're going to reach out to all of the other folks as long they are willing. I reach out to Honorable Debate. We'll get something in place as well. Even Senator Nimland, we hope to get all of it. And you're quite correct. And it is just, unfortunately, it is up to the people there because the proliferations of these new outlets, we all know some of them are politically motivated. They are propaganda machineries. They spread the subliminal messages, the falsehood, the innuendos. So, but we would just encourage our listeners, hey, and that's what we say. It's sometimes things you listen to, things you listen to, and it impact your implementation. And that's very dangerous for the country. People say things without even asking people how they got those informations, and people don't even check information. They hear a conclusion, verdict is it is bad, it's not healthy for our democracy. But again, that's the
world we live in.
world we live in. And so the freedom of speech, people having different forms of opportunity to get their side of the story. The Honorable Jeremiah Sokan, I want to thank you so much for sharing thoughts with us, and we're looking forward to having more of these national conversation for the good of our county, the country, and its people. Thank you so much.
The great Alfonso Zianso, it is my pleasure, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I look forward to another in the future. I'm humble and thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, well, folks, there you have it. I'm Alfonso Zianso in this special edition with a representative of District Number 1, Grand County, Republic of Liberia, Jeremiah Sokan. We intend to do this sort of routine. Now we're just on the Grand This is LPR, this is Liberia Public Radio. We represent the broader spectrums of the political landscape, whether you for or you against. We don't see ourselves as a resistant. That's not a work of a media. The media is not a resistant movement. You can't fight government. We stand. We are a conduit. The government and its people, the citizen, to give the citizen the information that they deserve, they need to know, not to tell them or not to be tell them to lead. Let them process the information. Let them verify those information, and they can take a decision. Our job is to tilt the narrative. And in the process of providing these narrative, we'll try as much as possible to be objective and not to be opinionated into our conversations. However, we do not have control of your opinions, your views about who we are and what we are doing. Unfortunately, this is not something we can control. You have the right to express it. Speak it out as you want it to be. That does not necessarily make it true, because we have these conversations, and sometimes you also have the right to disagree with us. But in order to have our country, and in the interest of fairness, if we can just cool down the temperature and to remove ourselves from the scene and try to avoid these political side tirings, because we want to get a side of attraction to people, because people are good at creating some sort of theater. This is what people like to see. So we don't just break the news here. When the news is broken, we make sure those news are verified, well authenticated before we say it. So we are not in a hurry. The editorial revealed, as a media institutions, you are also liable to lawsuit if you spread out false news, falsehood. They don't know that. Because when you slander people's character because of political reasons or something else that has been motivated, you can also be held liable for it. So we are cognizant of the fact of information that we put out there. If it requires to hold that information for a day or two because we want to make sure that speak with those that are involved, we will do it. Quality is better than quantity, and this is why we say be the first to know, and we'll continue to do that. As you know, LPR, the listeners, the analysts, represents a broader spectrums of different political. We respect the views and opinions of all. But when you insert yourself into the news story to be about yourself, then the substance of that conversation is dead wrong. And we need to stop and desist from that. Let us not be judgmental. It's not sympathy, it is not empathy, but let us follow it. Like what the honorable man said, and I do agree with it. We must follow the facts. How many of us have this tolerance to follow the facts? Because we want to break the news, we want to be the first to put the news out there. And that's not healthy for the country, a young country that experiencing democracy. We know what we went through during the crisis, during the war, the aftermath of the war. These are what we are dealing with. So the burden is on you as a listener, as a viewer, as a citizen. You also have a shared responsibility in making sure the right thing is done. As we hold them accountable, we also, as facilitators of this program, we must also be held accountable on things that we say and things that we do. Even when we say it, you have the right to also fact check those information. If you find out what we say is not right, come back here the next day and tell us. And if it is proven right, we will say yes. We are sorry. Our editorial board did not do the good job and we rush with this information. That's what we do. The nomenclatures of our institution speaks for itself, that we must be transparent. It's a public network, but we also must be responsible. In as much people want the freedom of speech, but there is where your freedom is, where your freedom starts, it could possibly be the infringements on other people's right as well. So we are aware of all of those critical indicators, and this is why in our conversations, we allow people to tell their stories. You can better tell your story than I can do. So when we hear it, we reach out, either by phone, by email, by text, any form of media of exchange communication. We reach out to get your version of the story. And that's what we intend to do. Whether you're from Lofa, you are from Bomi, you are from Nima, and you are a follower of the Liberia Public Radio, and you want us to have a dialogue with your lawmaker, let us know. Share some of those informations, their phone contacts, and we will bring them. The more we engage them, the better we know who they are and what they are doing. We do not intend to second guess. Or speculations is not part of the news world. We intend not to do that. Though it happens, there's no way that we can deny that. But let us have a conversation. Let us hear it directly from their mouth. How the intent, the how, and the why. Those are key questions. And once you get answers to those words, you will be informed of what is going on. It's 3:48 Eastern Standard Time. Today is my own sister and all of the ladies in the house. We say happy Mother's Day. It is your day today, so we celebrate you. We say congratulations and we wish many more days to come in your life. My own sister, Anna Nyinangwe, right there from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We say happy Mother's Day. And all of the ladies that are watching here, wherever they are, wherever they might be this morning, this hour, we say happy Mother's Day and stay blessed. Until then, by God's willing, same time, same network in this coming week, we'll be here with more programming on the Liberia Public Radio. So I want to thank you so much for sharing this Sunday with us. Until then, have a pleasant evening. And don't forget, if you're in the diaspora, you're in Liberia, and you have an event as part of our community engagement to give back to the community, let us know. When there's no way, we will find it. In as much we want to beg for assistance, we also want to work for it so that your money that you pay or contributions that you give, we must work for it. We don't want free money. We want money. We have the Zelle. We have the Cash App. But that's not the traditions of this network. We want to provide services and you can pay for it. But at your own volition, if you choose to, that is okay. There will come a time that we will ask you, but we want to show something genuine, something authentic for which you must invest into. It doesn't mean we don't have this here, but we are not going to come here every evening, every afternoon, and beg for 5 cents, 10 cents. We know people work hard for their money, and you must give reasons why you want people to give you money. You must give a reason, a tangible one. Not just only, oh, okay, because the correspondent, they gotta do this. Yes, that's part of it, but be illustrative, be visual, so that people don't know what they are investing in. Because many have given in the past, and it did not yield no result. I know it, and you know that as well. Well, folks, thank you so much, and I love his name, Independent Mind. You're going to be you're going to have an independent mind. I hope you are independent. You have that independent mind. Okay, folks. Until then, we say happy Mother Day to all good mothers. If you're not a good mother, think about it. Try to be a good mother. Have a pleasant evening. Bye bye.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.